All right, everyone, how are you all doing? Welcome along to this live stream slash video. There's been some really interesting news. So I wanted to make a video about this. That's why I'm sat in my office doing this right now. I would love to do it outside, but it's -2 and it's dark, so I'm not going to do it. Lynx have been released into Scotland. Now, if you're following along with this, it's all very exciting, and I'm going to break it down for you what's happened, and then I'll get some questions from the live viewers afterwards. So, essentially, four lynx have been seen out and about in the Cairngorms National Park of Scotland. Now, lynx reintroduction into the UK is a very hot topic. It's a very sort of sought after thing, and it's very, very much on the lips of conservationists here, there, and everywhere in the UK. There's never been a proposed sort of thing that's gone through for lynx reintroduction. It's always been maybe, nearly, in the future, that sort of stuff. 2025 comes around, and lynx are now being sighted in the wild of the Cairngorms. Now, I'm going to show you where they've been sighted. So if you move it over to here, this is the area, right? Just in the Cairngorms National Park, not far from Aviemore, just a bit further south here, near the Highland Wildlife Park. Now, before you think, no, they haven't come from the Highland Wildlife Park. In this area here, Killyhuntley, these lynx have been spotted. Now, it's quite an interesting one. As you can see, there's a lot of forest around here, and it is quite remote in its area. So, if we show you what had happened, this is the image of two lynx being sighted on Wednesday, the 8th of January, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. There they are, just sat there. The call was raised. I've just seen two lynx in Scotland, which is amazing, by the way. It sounds fantastic. And they were just sat there at the side of, I think, quite a narrow sort of road. And it's all a bit quite interesting. When this news first broke, I was absolutely buzzing. I have information, or I had information before this, that sort of made me think that this was going to happen at some point. As events transpire, you'll realise I didn't have knowledge of this specific thing, but I have been told that there could be lynx, or could be lynx reintroduced under the radar back in 2024. So, let's move it back over to this. So this is what was sighted, and this is what got everyone all in a big tizzy and a big sort of excitement. Two lynx in the countryside, in the wild of the UK for the first time in probably a very, very long time. Now, to see two lynx like this together is sort of extremely unusual. Like, to see one lynx is amazing. To see two like this, red flags left, right, and center, it's just something that really doesn't happen. Thank you for that donation. I really appreciate it, Thresher. Thank you very much. So, talking about these, right? When this first broke, it was really, really exciting. It was such an exciting thing, and I jumped at it. I was like, oh my god, it's happening. Yes, someone is illegally reintroducing the lynx, just like the beavers. So if you remember back, beavers mysteriously appeared on the River Otter in Devon, in England. This is. It happened in Scotland as well, exactly the same thing. Beavers just appeared. What they did at the time was leave the beavers to get on with their stuff, and they trialed a run to see if they could come back to this country. And as it turned out, these are fantastic. Beavers are great. We let them back, and now they're a protected animal in this country once again, and releases are happening all over the UK. I thought the same thing was going to happen with these lynx, except it gets a little bit weird, and it gets a little bit fishy. So we move it on to the next picture, and you get this. You've got two lynx like hiding behind a tree stump. So obviously at this point, these lynx are being hunted. And when I say hunted, I don't mean in the guns sort of way. I mean they're going to be caught. So the Highland Wildlife Park, Saving Wildcats, Wildland, all of these like organisations joined up, the police as well, to try and track these lynx down and secure them. They found them like this, together, sort of afraid and not really knowing what they were to do. You can see another photo here, like you've got two of them, so one's still behind here and one of them sort of like making a little walk to the side. Now, it is quite sad to see this, because obviously these are two lynx that in the wild you would never ever see like this. But it gets a little bit more interesting, and probably not for the reason that you're thinking. So if we move over to this, we have a video here that we can have a little watch of. It's from Sky, but the RZSS. This is the lynx coming to the camera with a torch beamed in its face. Where on earth do you think that's ever going to happen in the wild ever? It's just not. So this is where it all falls down. And the problem is, this is now gone from a supposed guerrilla rewilding of the lynx, and it now looks like someone has just dumped these lynx without a care in the world in the middle of winter in a subarctic zone of the UK and said, I don't want them. So 2 lynx are out there, and thankfully in this video it shows these lynx being captured, but you can see how tame they are. And just look at that thing, it's absolutely beautiful. But you can see how tame they are, and eventually they do get captured and put into a cage. You can see the cage just there, they're working on it, and there it is, back into a cage. They've been captured, taken to the Highland Wildlife Park and been checked over, and eventually they're going to move over to Edinburgh Zoo. So you're thinking, all right, cool, they had their little stint in the wild, that's it, done. Well, this is where it gets weird and it gets a little bit juicy. All right, back to this location. In this Killyhuntley sort of valley area where these lynx were spotted, in a lay-by, someone found, not far from the cats by the way, someone had found lots of straw, dead chicks, and then the weirdest thing, and this might surprise you, the weirdest thing, porcupine quills. Why porcupine quills? What's going on there? 2 lynx not far from all of this stuff. It doesn't sound very good. Now this sounds like someone with an exotic collection of animals has decided they don't want them anymore and is just chucking them out. That's what it sounds like. So fast forward it, Friday morning, today, Friday morning, something else happens. And we move over to this. And this right here is another lynx. That right there is another lynx. It all gets a bit crazy. 2 more lynx in the wild, just roaming around in Scotland once again. So these were captured on a camera trap, and you can see in the background there is something there to try and trap them. They were left out there just in case, and it's all a bit strange. Like, this whole thing is getting weirder and weirder. Like, what's happening? From something that started out as potential guerrilla rewilding, someone got sick of how long it takes to get like the plans put in place for lynx to be put into the country and chucking them out there just covertly, illegally, to now it looking like 4 dumped pets and porcupine quills scattered about. What does that mean? Do you know what I mean? What does that mean? What is going on? Could that mean that there are more than 4 lynx out in the Scottish Highlands at the minute? Could that mean there's more than just lynx? Could that mean there's porcupine? Could that mean there's a whole host of different animals now? What is going on? So to summarise, 4 lynx have mysteriously appeared, presumably dumped in the Cairngorms National Park. Straw, dead chicks and porcupine quills were found all in the same area, suggesting this is where they were dropped off. 2 of them have been captured. 2 of them probably are going to be captured again. They all seem like they're from the same family. They all seem like they've been hand-reared, captive bred, raised. They don't know what they're doing in the wild. What is happening? So I don't think this has been a guerrilla rewilding effort. I don't think that at all now. At the start I did, and I was sort of happy about it. I was like, yes, come on, the lynx are back. Now I'm sad, a little bit angry that someone has done this. Someone has purposefully chucked these animals into the wild, and potentially other things as well. And I think that's horrible. I think that's disgusting. But that's where we're currently at. And it's really interesting to see this camera trap footage of these other lynx being out and about in the wild over there. Can you imagine setting out a camera trap and a couple of lynx appear? Now, the interesting thing is, when I say a couple of lynx, that means, because lynx are a solitary animal, that means they're either young or young with a parent. So the thought process is, the two that were captured were youngsters, real youngsters. And the two that you've got here is an adult and a youngster. So it all seems like one lynx family has just been chucked. Now, the porcupine quills is a weird one. It is so strange. I find this whole thing fascinating. Like, I'm a big endorser of lynx returning to the UK. Not in this way. This is mental. Like, if it was done properly, under the radar, I'd probably support it a little bit more. But I would always say it needs to be done officially, legally. But as we saw with the beavers, that was done under the radar. That was done illegally. We're happy with it now. Who's to say that that won't happen with lynx? This, though, I don't think is that. This, I think, is, to be honest, despicable. I think this is horrible. And I think this shouldn't have happened, if I'm totally honest. And I don't know. Let's pass it over to you guys who are watching now. What do you think is going on here? What is happening? This is absolutely mental, isn't it? Like, what is going on? Welcome everybody in the chat, by the way. I really appreciate you tuning in. But this is a bit crazy, isn't it? This is a bit crazy. Like, this whole thing is mental. So you guys there picking up on the porcupine thing. What is going on? And that's leading me to think that maybe there's more animals. Maybe there's more than just lynx. Maybe there's more than 4 lynx. Maybe other things are going to be popping up around the Cairngorms. Who knows what's going on? But at the minute, it seems like these lynx were all dropped off at the same time. 2 went one way, 2 went the other way. Who knows? This whole thing is bizarre. It's so weird. You clearly see they have been habituated to humans, says Raffus 2001. You are absolutely spot on. Like, that video where they just walk straight towards the camera is, I mean, it's sad. They just look like pets. They look like pets that just want to, like, just snuggle up to something and just be fed. And I think it's really horrible that someone's done this slap bang in the middle of winter. Like, it's one thing doing it in summer. They can hunt, they can try and go after things, they can try and survive. In the middle of winter, though, it's diabolical, isn't it? They will die or get injured if not captured. Exactly. Like, the chances of survival at this point of the year is slim to none. Like, it's such a horrible thing to do. Thresher says they are just overgrown house cats. Thresher, I think you're absolutely spot on. In my eyes, this is a criminal act, says Dead Monk. Someone likely smuggled in for some kind of trade or profit, and they've either escaped or let loose, so the one responsible don't get caught. Could be. Surely if they were pets, they'd be chipped and easy to trace to an owner. DWA animals are under strict rules to own. HMS Platypus, thank you for your comment. So, I have a little counter to this, and I have been speaking to people that own sanctuaries, animals and stuff, and I did ask them about this DWA, so the Dangerous Wild Animals Act. You do need to have a Dangerous Wild Animals Act to have a lynx, and you need to sort of like get it checked every 2 years, I'm led to believe. I don't own animals, I don't know this off the top of my head, but from what I've been speaking to people about, every 2 years you need to sort of re-register and like provide that you've got all of this stuff suitable for the animals that you want. So I asked, his name's Oliver, he's called OC Avery on YouTube. I asked him about this, and I said, so if you get, for example, a male and a female lynx registered, what stops you from breeding them and hiding the cubs? And he said, not a lot. It could be a case of someone has legally and rightfully got these animals, and then they've bred them but kept that to one side and not said anything about it. And that's how someone could get away with it. And it's a bit weird in that sort of respect. But what do you guys think about this? Because I think this whole thing's really interesting, but also I think this is actually fantastic for the Lynx, not the specific Lynx in this situation. They're having a horrible time, but actually for Lynx reintroduction to the UK, I think this whole thing is fantastic. I think this whole thing really helps out their cause, and it really puts everything into perspective, because people want to see Lynx reintroduced to the UK. I think there's an overwhelming desire for that from the general public. There is certain opposition, that's fair enough, but I think now the whole of the UK, this has been in mainstream media over the last 2 days, the whole of the UK has heard about the Lynx being escaped. No one's scared. I don't know if anyone's seen it, but if you read the comment sections on all of this media, no one's scared of Lynx. No one's saying, oh my god, like the Lynx is going to kill me. I think everyone's happy for it, and I genuinely feel like now, if people were to really push it, I think it would go through. I think this is the best time in the UK for a talk about Lynx reintroduction. I think people want it, and I think people aren't afraid of it. Maybe it'll make the government look more into it. For sure. Now, right now, it's not going to happen. Of course it's not going to happen. But this puts the conservation, it puts the focus onto conservation and doing it properly. And I think that's brilliant. Gary says, I personally think it was an illegal rewilding, but they knew the temps were going to be that cold. So the only thing I would say about the illegal rewilding, I was like, if someone's going to do that, they're going to be knowledgeable about the area, they're going to be knowledgeable about the time of the year, they're going to be knowledgeable about their animals and giving them the best chance to survive in the wild. What we're seeing from these animals walking up to a beam of light, acting like house cats around humans, these animals haven't been built for that purpose. These animals aren't habituated to the wild surroundings that they were put in. And they were sat down looking like domestic cats. And I think, personally, that it wasn't a rewilding effort. Because if it was, it's awful. It's terrible. And it's such a bad go at trying to do it. And I just don't think someone in that position that wants to see these animals back is going to do that. I just can't see it happening. So, I know a lot of people who own wildlife parks, sanctuaries, all these different people, and I've asked everyone and no one knows a single thing. And actually people who are for guerrilla rewilding, like doing it covertly, no one's happy about it. Genuinely no one's happy about it. At the start people were, because they thought that's what had happened. Now as it transpires it looks like a dumping of animals. Everyone's fuming, myself included. Everyone is fuming. It's not a good look. Look at the beaver reintroduction, the official one. It was done slowly and carefully in protected areas and carefully monitoring before the gates were opened. Dead Monk, you're wrong. The official one happened after the unofficial one. And this is what everyone thought this was with the Lynx. Everyone thought this was the unofficial release of the Lynx. So what happened with the beavers is beavers magically turned up around places in Scotland and places in England. And then trials were put in place. Monitor them, see how they get on. And eventually they were decided, yeah, beavers are wicked. So they decided to then do the official reintroductions. Like it's happened with a few animals before. Like we've got wild boar. Wild boar were illegally released or had escaped from areas down in the Forest of Dean. They're still there now. I actually filmed one in a video recently. It's happening in Scotland right now. Like these animals, probably not a threat to human life, are happening. They're coming back. Like people are putting them there. Lynx aren't. Lynx aren't a threat to human life. What I mean by that is they're a predator. They have this predator tagline. They're scary. They could kill your cat. They could kill a sheep. Whereas beavers and boar can't really do that. These lynx aren't like pigs who can quickly get comfortable in the wild and become boars. These types of animals will simply just die in the wild. Jake Turner, you're absolutely spot on. My friend says he knew someone who saw a lynx in Scotland way before all this situation. Now, guys, I don't know if you remember. That's interesting, by the way, and I'm going to jump onto that similarly to myself. I don't know if you remember, the first time I went looking for wildcat and capercaillie in March last year, when I posted the video, in the video, I did mention that I thought I saw a lynx. It was sat in the track, and I've got bad eyes. I had a good phone, which is the iPhone 15 Pro, and I was going to like pull it up and zoom in and see if I could see it, right? As I was looking, I was like, I can't tell what it is. I looked down to get my phone out. I looked back up. It had gone. Genuinely, in that moment, I thought I looked at a lynx. And guys, I'm not being funny when I say this, but it was so close to the area of where these lynx have been seen. I'm not even joking. It's absolutely mental. Like, I'm going to get the map up once again, because I feel like it's safe for me to show you where this was now, because it's weird, right? So this is this area here is where the lynx have been spotted in the last couple of days. 4 of them, right? This side, this is where I was looking for the wildcat and capercaillie. This area here, this whole area is where I was looking for wildcat and capercaillie. This is where the lynx have been spotted in the last couple of days. Can we all see that? So this is where the lynx have been spotted in the last couple of days. This is where I thought I saw one last year. That the coincidence is crazy, right? Isn't the coincidence absolutely mental? Like, genuinely, I've got it on video from last year. So it's searching. I think I've titled it now the searching for the Scottish wildcat. You can see it in that video. I say I think I just saw a lynx, and that was there. Whereas these ones spotted have been there. Look, could that be a coincidence? It absolutely could, right? It absolutely could. Could there be more to it though? I don't know. I don't know, because that was interesting to me, right? Play the clip. All right, I'll find the clip for you guys, okay? Because I'm genuinely serious. I think I saw a lynx. So I was with Jacob at the time. Jacob said it was a hare. I'm still not convinced to this day. But I'll show you the clip, right? I don't have it recorded like the actual animal. It was very one of those like big cat moments where I was just like, oh, and I looked down, it had gone. It's very much one of them. But I will find it for you, and I will show you the moment where I think I saw a lynx. Not far away from where they've actually been spotted. Okay, where are we? Okay, it's on this video. It's in this video. I need to try and find it, locate it. Look at me looking absolutely beautiful there. There's an ad. Don't want you to sit through one of them again. Okay, so it's in this area. So that area I just pointed out on the map is this area, right? And it was just after this. Okay, are you ready? I'm just going to have to mute this audio for a second. The sun is out over that direction, and we've just stayed in this place hidden right deep in the woods of Scotland, and we met a guy there who's been telling us all sorts of stories, and just a really lovely guy. It's a really well looked after place. It's called a bothy. It's wicked, so cool. And he's been telling us about the capercaillie and the wildcat, and they are around this area. They are in this vicinity. Actually, as it goes, as we walked up this path, there was a hare sat in the middle of it. I swear to God, now bear in mind my eyesight's bad, I thought the thing was a bloody lynx. Like, I'm not even joking.
I thought you were when you said that.
No, genuinely, when I saw it, because it was like, imagine just down the track, right? It was gigantic. It was massive, and I was like, what the flipping heck is that?
The size of a hare.
So I was getting my phone out, right? Because I got a new phone. It can zoom in really well. And literally, as I put my head down to get the phone, Jacob goes, "Oh, it's gone. It's a hare." I was like, "Oh my God!" Right now, it's you got to bear in mind the area was right next to where these lynx have been spotted, and look, my eyesight's not the best. Jacob's eyesight is probably better than mine, but it still stands. This area is where I thought I saw a lynx, and this is where they were spotted a couple of days ago. I don't know. Look, these events that have happened in the last couple of days have made me think twice about it. So I don't know if if what I saw last year was a lynx. Jacob says it was a hare, and that's why at the time I was like, okay, if he says it's a hare, it probably was a hare. I don't know. It could have been a lynx. It could have been a hare. I'm not too sure. That's why I've never really gone too much into it. But because of the timing of this now, I find it all a bit weird, you know? I find it all a bit weird. But genuinely, I still think I might have seen a lynx. Like, I'm not 100% sold on it, obviously. But the areas, guys, the coincidence is absolutely off the charts. Like, I don't know. Jamie P, thank you so much. What a legend. Oh, wrong side. What a legend, becoming a member. The IC what it wants to see, perhaps. Perhaps. But at the time, we weren't looking for lynx. I was looking in front of me and I saw an animal shaped sat like it was sat like that, right? Like a cat sat. It was shaped like a cat sat down. And I was like, is that a lynx? And then lo and behold, it disappeared. I haven't got any proof. I can't go on with it. But anyway, the lynx thing has happened today. I find it super interesting. I find it exciting. And I hope more comes of it as like a reintroduction conservation topic, right? We were in the Cairngorms. So this is Menace UK. We were in the Cairngorms in May last year and we bumped into someone in a hide near Glenmore who said they saw a lynx. There we go. Did it have spots, Cookie? So the problem is it was far away and it was sandy coloured. That's all I got. So it could have been a hare, it could have been a lynx. They're similar colours, and at a distance, I don't know. Like, guys, I can't give you any more. Like, genuinely, that was all I saw. So I'm not going to say it is or it isn't. The only thing I will say is the coincidence of the areas and what I thought I saw to what is actually being seen in these areas, I find a bit crazy. I've actually never seen a European hare here. I've seen mountain hare up this way. I've never seen a European hare in these areas. Then again, I've never seen a lynx in the area. So, or at least it's one of the two. It was either a lynx or a hare. I don't know. Jacob says it was a hare, but who knows? Either way, this is where I thought I saw it. This is where these four have been today, in the last couple of days. I find it interesting. But anyway, that video is from March, so last year. Could be crouching with ears down, about to dash. Yeah, Thresher, you could be absolutely spot on. Ultimately, I don't know. I just remember feeling like I saw a lynx in the moment. I would love to have a lynx back. I'd love to have lynx back here, but in the way they're releasing it as captive animals, and it probably doesn't have the capability to hunt. Someone was just tired of how long we had to wait. Yeah, possibly. But I just think these are animals that have been dumped, and I think the coincidence has come from lynx and Scotland and like the potential rewilding of these things. Maybe you did. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. Ultimately, I don't know, so I can't say either way, which is sad. So, imagine if it was a lynx. Flipping heck, it would have been absolute carnage. Right, anyway, guys, I'm going to leave this little live stream here. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I've got to go off and do other things, but I wanted to leave that with you. 4 lynx have been released into Scotland. Could there be more animals out there? Why are there porcupine quills at the side of the road with dead chicks and straw? What is going on? Oh, what a legend. Thank you so much.
Lynx X Scottish Wildcat Hybrids 2025.
Imagine. All right, Joe, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. But guys, I really appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for the donors, the members, all of that sort of stuff. Really, really appreciate it. Something weird is happening in the Cairngorms. What is happening? I don't know. But something strange is going on. What is it? Why is there porcupine quills? What's going on? I want to go up there and film. I really do. I really do. Flipping heck, I do. But anyway, guys, I really appreciate your time. And I will speak to you all soon. I'll have a video on this again in the coming days, I think. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. All right, if you're watching this on catch up, love you. Nice one. See you all soon. Bye.